Good morning, student. Today we are going to start our lesson number 4, Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Dear student, now at the beginning of the 17th century CE, most of the territory in the Maharashtra was under the control of Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar and Adil Shah of Bijapur. The Mughals have entered Khandesh. Their objective was to expand their power in the south. There were settlements of Siddhi people who had come from Africa along the coastline of Konkan. The competition and conflict amongst the Portuguese, the British, the French, the Dutch, who had come from Europe, was getting intense during this period. There was stiff competition amongst them to capture the markets for trade. The Portuguese had already established their rule in Goa and Vasai on the western coastline. The British, the Dutch, and the French had found an entry through the medium of trading companies by setting up factories. All these powers assisted the strength of other powers, kept themselves safe and tried to dominate as much as possible. This conflict had created instability and insecurity in Maharashtra. These different people from Europe were called Topkar on the basis of their customary headgear. It is necessary to get acquainted with the village called as Mauza, Kasbah and Pargana to understand the nature of settlement in that period as also of the officer that form a link between the rulers and their subjects. And also the market and the craftsmen. Pargana was made up of many villages. Generally, the headquarters of Pargana was called Kasbah. A village smaller than a Kasbah was called Mauja. Let us get acquainted in the brief with village, Kasbah and Pargana respectively. Now first we are going to study about the village is called as a Mauza. Mauza means what? Now see, most of the people lived in villages. A village was also called Mauza. The chief of the village was Patil. He used to try to bring maximum land under cultivation. When there was any dispute in the village, the Patil resolved it and made peace. A Kulkarni helped the Patil in his work. The Kulkarni kept the record of the revenue that was collected. There were various artisans in the village. They had hereditary rights regarding their occupations. The peasants gave a share of their agriculture produce to the artisans for the service they rendered to the village community. This share was known as a baluta. Now next one is Kasbah. A Kasbah was like a big village. It was usually the headquarters of the Pargana. Is that Indapur Kasbah of Indapur Pargana, Wai Kasbah of Wai Pargana were the headquarters of those Parganas. Agriculture was the main occupation. There were skilled artisans like carpenter, blacksmith, etc. In a Kasbah, there was usually a market and a pet. In Kasbah, the Seth and Mahajan were the Vatandas of the pet. Every village did not necessarily have a pet. The setting up the pit was the job of the Seth and Mahajan. For that, they received some land from the government and some rights from the villagers. The Mahajan maintained the account of the pit. The next one is Pargana. Many villages together made a Pargana, but the number of villages was not the same in all Parganas. For example, the Pune Pargana was a big Pargana. It consisted of 290 villages. There were 64 villages in the Chakan Pargana. The Sirwal Pargana was small. It had only 40 villages. The Deshmukh and the Deshpande were the Vatandar officer of the Pargana. The Deshmukh was the chief of Patil in a Pargana. The Deshmukh did at the Pargana level what the Patil did at the village level. The Deshpande was the chief of a Kulkarni in a Pargana. The Deshpande did at the Pargana level the work of Kulkarni did at the village level. These Vatandar officers were the link between the people and the government. In case of enemy invasion or drought, these Vatandars represented the grievance of the people to the government sometimes. The officers misused their powers. They collected more money from the people than was due or did not remit the money so collected to the government on time. On such occasion, the people suffered harassment. If did not rain, crops would fail, the price of food grains rose. It became difficult for the people to get food grains and other things. There was no fodder for the cattle. Water became scarce. It became difficult for people to live in a village. They were forced to leave the village. Famine was a great calamity for the people. A great famine occurred in Maharashtra in 1630 CE. People were greatly distressed due to this famine. It has been described in this word. People were ready to sell themselves for a piece of bhakri, but there was nobody to buy them. There was a so scarcity of food grains. Entire families were destroyed. Cattle and farm animals died. Agriculture was devastated. The famine put an end to the industries. All financial transactions came to a standstill. People had to wander to faraway regions in search of livelihood. It was a great challenge to bring back to normalcy the devastated life of the people. Now, the work of the Warkari movement. Society was greatly influenced by blind belief and rituals. People had become fatalistic and inert. They had lost all integrity. The condition of the common people was miserable. In much circumstances, the saints in Maharashtra endured to inspire the masses. In Maharashtra, the tradition of saints, which began with Saint Jnaneshwar and Saint Namdev, was carried on by saints coming from various states of the society. People from all strates of society were part of the saint traditions. For example, Saint Chokomela, Saint Goroba, Saint Sena, Saint Sauta, Saint Narari, Saint Sheikh Muhammad, etc. Saint Chokoba's wife, Saint Sohrabai, and sister Saint Nirmalabai, Saint Muktabai, Saint Janabai, Saint Kanopatra, Saint Bahinabai Shirurkar, and other women were also among them. Pandharpur was at the center of the saint movement. Vittal was the object of their worship on the bank of the river Chandrabhaga at Pandharpur. The saint and pilgrimage in Warkari used to rejoice in their devotion as bhakti. Their equality was propagated by the bhajan, kirtan, and unity nil iti kala. Saint Namdev. So he was a great saint of Warkari movement. He was a skilled organizer. He performed excellent kirtans as well as he awakened the sense of equality in men and women belong to all castes through the medium of the kirtans. His pledge was Nachu Kirtanacharangi Jnanadip Lau Jagi. His compositions are well known. Many saints as well as the common people were influenced by his teaching. He went up to the Punjab, propagating his thoughts. His compositions are included in Guru Granth Sahib of Sikh. He propagated the message of Bhagavad religions in all quarters. He built a memorial to Saint Chokomela at Pandharpur. His work is unforgettable. Next saint is Saint Jnaneshwar. Now see, he was a great saint in the Warkari movement. He wrote the Bhavarth Deepika or Jnaneshwari, which includes the meaning of the Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita. He also composed the Amrutanubhav. He posed the importance of the path of devotion, thoughts, his work and compositions. He showed a simple way of worship. He conducted which the common people could follow easily. He gave the prestige of religion to the Warkari movement. Through his life was spent in extremely adverse circumstances. He never lost and calm of his mind and never honored bitterness. His Pasaidan in Jnaneshwari uplifted the mind. The poetic composition of his brothers Saint Nivruttinath and Saint Sopante and sister Muktabai are well known. Next saint is Saint Eknath. He was a great saint of Bhakti movement. In Maharashtra, his compositions are many as devotion include Abhangas, Gaulana and Varuda etc. He has started Bhagavad Dharma in detail and in a simple manner. He has protected people's life in Bhavarta Ramayana. Through the story of Rama, he explained in Marathi. In Bhakti, part of the Sanskrit work Bhagavad is Abhangas shown the worth of devotion. He demonstrated through his own conduct that there is no need to renounce worldly matter for attaining the highest truth. Paramartha. He was a teacher of the people in the truth sense of the term. He believed that our Marathi language was inferior to no other languages. He asked the Sanskrit scholar forcefully, Sanskritwani deve ki तर प्राकृत काय चोरापासून आली. He heavily criticized those who hated other religions. Next, Saint Tukaram. He belonged to Dehu near Pune. His compositions on Abhangas were very pleasant and lucid, reaching the greatest poetic heights. His Gatha is a precious treasure of the Marathi language. He asks us to find God by showing love to the unhappy and the tormented. In the following lines, जे का रंजले गांजले त्याची म्हणे जो आपुले तोची साधू ओळखावा देव तेची जाणावा. With this viewpoint, he threw in the river Indrayani the document of the loans that people had borrowed from him and free many poor families from the bond of loans. He criticized the hypocrisy and superstitions in the society in very strong terms. He stressed the devotion and bhakti should be coupled with morality. His teaching can be summed up the जोडुन्या धन उत्तम व्यवहारी उदास विचारे वेच करी. Some domestic people opposed the social awakening that he had undertaken and sank his abhangas in the Indrayani. Saint Tukaram faced the opposition with noble courage. Saint Tukaram's disciplined associates were of different castes and creeds. They include Newji Mali, Gaunas Setwani, Santaji Jagnade, Shivba Kasar, Bainabai Shirurkar, and Mahadaji Pant Kulkarni. An important task complete by Gangadhar Pant Mawal and Santaji Jagnade was writing down the Abhangas of Saint Tukaram. Now, work of Saint. Saint gave the message of equality to people. They taught humanity, the peace, that people should live together in harmony, unity and love. Their work resulted in the social awakening. They taught how to live in the face of foreign invasion, drought-like situations, or any other natural calamities. Their teaching proved to be a big support for people. Their work created self-confidence among the people of Maharashtra. Now see, there was a determination of the ethics and religions in the society. At such a time, the saint came forward to protect the society. They taught the true meaning of religion. They showed the path of devotion by living amongst people and sharing their joys and sorrows. Some orthodox and dogmatic people opposed them, but the saint believed that facing the opposition was a part of their duty. Saint Tukaram has explained the mark of the true saint in these words. तुका म्हणे तोची संत जोशी जगाच्या आगात. The saint and the complex dharma of the scholar in language of the people. They pray a God using simple everyday terms. They took the view that all are equal before God. They thought society to do away with the pride arising out of caste and varna and see everyone as God's children. A characteristic of the saints was that they did not forget their duties on the path of devotion. They found God in their work. Saint Sauta said, "Kanda mula bhaji avgi mithai maji." This statement refers to farm work but applies to work in all walk of life. The saint carried on with their duties even as they were engaged in devotions, teaching and composition verses. They developed the moral sensibility of the society. Next saint is Ramdas Swami. He was from Jam in Maharashtra. He explained the importance of physical fitness of the people's. मराठा तितुका मिळवावा, महाराष्ट्र धर्म वाढवावा. This message of Ramdas Swami is famous. He gave the practical education and lessons in good conduct through his work like Dasbodh. Then Karunstantla Manache Slok. He started the importance of people's movement and organization and founded the Samarth Sampradaya. Chaplal was the center of the Sampradaya. He propagated the worship of Rama and Hanuman. He traveled for all world and propagated his thoughts. Inspiration for independence during foreign rules, such was as political, social, cultural situation, etc. in Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In that period, Maharashtra was under the control of Adil Shahi and other powers. It was not independence. Even so, some personalities and streams of thoughts were dreaming of freedom. Among them, Shahaji Maharaj, who is considered to be a visionary of Swaraj, was on the forefront.